Today, I'm going to take you into the life of a casual player, that is someone who owns multiple islands and makes their millions of silver by simply playing the game in safe easy mode. Let's go. First things first, the server's just opened up. I'm on my chef character. I've already done all my chef work. My focus is down, but now it's time to do the daily bonus challenge so that I can unlock this chest and hopefully get another focus potion. This character started at 6 million silver, let's see, 1 day ago, and he's up to 10 million. Thanks for having maximum chef crafting. There we go. Flagged up for bridge watch, and I'm going to go smash some open world mobs and get this challenge quest completed. Alright, and that should complete it. There we go. Now we journey home for only 1,500 silver. And I need to do this on oops, I canceled it. I need to do this on 3 other characters real quick because they all have premium. And I want to get the challenge reward, so I'm going to go ahead and claim that. And I'm just going to go ahead and open to see if I get a focus potion. I did not. So I'll worry about selling that later. And second character's done. Let's see if she gets a focus potion or not. And no focus potion, dang. And character number 3, let's see if they got a focus potion. And yes, they did. Awesome, cool. So there we go, that's big money right there. And also, I did it on my 4th character yesterday because he's working ahead, and he did not get a focus potion. So yeah, easy money. We've basically opened 4 of these, which is like an entire month's worth of rewards already. Next up is doing farms. Now, on the Swole Benji character, there are 2 islands only he can access because it's my friend's islands who quit the game, and I can't grant access to my alt characters to his islands to level up their herbal picking. So I've got to go ahead and harvest 2 of these islands real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, 7 plots are completed, down to 4,200 something focus for the day. Here's the profits, 130k in seeds, 227k in burdock, and 3k in earthworms. Very cool. Alright, we have the herbs currently stashed and the earthworms. This is what we've harvested so far, but I've got a lot more farms to harvest. Now I've got to do it on this loin girdler character, and the reason why is because he is not maxed out on burdock cultivator. He's only level 65. So I'm going to be eating this All Hallows treat, and the problem with him is he can't ride a mammoth. He also can't ride the tier 8 like faction mounts. So I've got to use the grizzly bear because if you guys didn't know, the monthly reward mounts don't have a requirement. Any character of any prestige, any you know, like, what is this, the elder whatever, can ride them. Okay, see, he doesn't have elder adventurer unlocked, so he can't ride any of the tier 8 mounts, but he can ride, like I said, the monthly rewards. Anyway, so I have a lot of farms. I'm gonna have to make multiple trips because if I just take out 7 plots worth, guess what, that puts me at 44% load, and I have way more than 7 plots to go farm. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and I'm not watering anything yet because I want him to level up as much as possible so that his focus is worth a lot more. If you want to know how much XP this gives, right now he's at 45% burdock cultivator. So we're going to just harvest one of these islands, or one of these plots, and that puts him at 52%, so 7%. Alright, so that is everything harvested. It took around 16 minutes or so to do, and let's see how much we made. Alright, we got 2 levels in burdock cultivator from 65 to 67 and a half-ish. And then as far as loot goes, this is what we collected in 1 day on all of my islands, which is 2.689 million silvers worth. That is 808k in seeds per day that we're going to make, 400k per stack of the burdock. And the burdock right now is worth 400, so that's normally around 325 to 350, so it's a little bit less than 2.69 million, I'm going to say. If the economy is stabilized. But right now, herbs are super expensive because of the mists patch that is coming, and everyone's trying to move herbs to Brazilian whenever that's, you know, releases. And then earthworms are, of course, only worth 247 each. They're not a big deal. So there you go. That's over 2 million in silver per day for the next 89 more days. Yay! And of course, I still need to water the plants, which I can always wait till later, whenever more focus has accumulated on these characters, so that they can do it all in one fell swoop. But I'm just going to go ahead and water a bunch now, just to get it out of the way. And if I don't have enough focus to water everything, then I'll just log in later today in like 12 hours and finish it up. It's not a big deal, really. You may be wondering, why didn't I water while I planted? Well, I wanted to make sure I can get to all my farms in time while this buff is still active, which As we can see, it only took 16-ish minutes, so there was absolutely plenty of time to water these as I planted. But also, because I got 2 level ups, it saves me 4 focus per square here to wait to water them until after I've harvested them all. But it's just a very small nitpick, it's not a big deal really to me. And yes, I'm aware that harvesting crops, growing crops, is not the most optimal use of focus. However, it is one of the laziest and easiest and quickest for time. All in all, this character only took me about 25 minutes to spend his focus on watering, harvesting all the crops, and replanting all the crops. So not too bad for 2.5 million silver, right? Watering is all done for now. I will need to do a little bit of watering later in the day with my characters as they rebuild their focus to finally finish and water all the islands. And that's totally fine, because even if I didn't do that, like say I forget or I get busy, I have more than enough seed surplus to make up for it, which then I could just make up for it the next day, because as long as I don't cap my focus, I'm good to go. So now it's time to do mercenary laborers. So I have a bunch of tier 4 mercenary journals here. I'm going to be, I also put all my gold in my guild bank, so I have 0 right now, so you can see how much I earn. And I'm just going to go to each laborer here, and these were tier 5s. I'm going to feed them tier 4s. So tier 5 is 1.746. Tier 4 will give 1123 with a 50% chance to double. So about 1,600. It's almost the same as the tier 5, mathematically. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab these. And you can see, oh, that was a 3,400, so that one doubled, so that one's pretty cool. But the rest of these houses are tier 4. There's a few tier 5 houses. I didn't feel like deconstructing them out of nostalgia. So I'm going to go ahead and collect laborers, and I have tons more islands with these mercenaries on them. And then later I'm going to fill these mercenary journals really quickly by AoEing tier 4 group static dungeon mobs. So they're super quick to fill. They only take a few minutes to fill. And it's basically free silver, so we're going to see how much I make. Now, I also want to mention what I'm doing does level up the laborer. So you can see here, this is a tier 7 and about maybe 15% into tier 8 mercenary. And when they hit tier 8, I can then sell them if they ever get buffed. I'm waiting for them to get buffed so I can sell them. I am sitting on hundreds and hundreds of mercenary laborers that I am waiting to sell if they ever do anything good with them in the game. Right now, they're in like 0 demand. I'm just banking on the fact that one day they have to buff these guys, and when they do, I'm going to just be the #1 guy to wheel and deal them out, and it's going to be great. Alright, that didn't take very long, and you can see that I made 127,506 silver, and it took 72 blue books. Well, 15 of them were the tier 5s, but they're barely any more than the blue ones. So we can just basically say maybe like 110, 115k silver if I just did blue books, and that's 87 mercenaries, so it's not even that many. And look, they only take 3,264 fame to fill. Whenever I kill a tier 4 static dungeon mob, it's going to give me like almost double that. So, and I can AoE 10 at a time. And also, they keep talking about me in the chat. This guy said, suck Benji. Well, whatever, dude. Thank you, Swole Benjo. I sold my 13,000 gold for cheap because of you. People are mad at me they just blame me for everything. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, let's continue. Next up is growing laborers. I have tons of laborers all over different islands, and I'm growing them and leveling them up with generalist journals. So what that looks like, I have some tier 2 and some tier 3 generalist trophy journals with me. You can fill these up doing any activity in the game, and they do take a bit of fame, like the tier 2 takes 2,400, but that's any fame from any source. So it doesn't matter what you do, if you craft, if you harvest plants, it doesn't matter. You can fill these books up super quick and easy, and you can fill them alongside mercenary journals or gathering journals, so they're super easy to fill. So I'm going to go from island to island, and basically I'm going to talk to this, like this is a fisherman, right? And I'm going to give them the tier 2 journal here, and then hit accept, and they will get experience from this in 22 hours, and I will collect the empty book from them. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of that now. Oh, and around tier 5, tier 4 is when I sell them. It really depends on the market. Otherwise, I can save them, and I'll have some higher level, higher tier fishermen in case I ever go fishing and fill fishing journals one day. Maybe one day. Who knows? You never know. Alright, it seems I'm at 1 hour and 21 minutes ahead of schedule for my other laborers. I also have some gathering laborers that come back in about 35 minutes, so I need to find something else to do in the meantime. Here we are at a tier 4 static area. I've got my build all set up ready to go. I do have this turned off, and auto respec is off because I don't want to spend money. I'm going to go ahead and I want to see how much silver I get from the drops of monsters, so I'm going to zero my silver out. eat a pork roast, and we're gonna mass pull some mobs here. Try to get no archers, no spellcasters. We'll start with this little pile here. We'll dump on them just a bit, and just see how we do. Alright, let's see how many tomes this fills. Go ahead and just use my E. I didn't have to use my E, but I just want to do it just for the meme. Go ahead and pick that up. Okay, so we filled 10 tomes in one pull. So you can see it's super, super quick. It's super easy to do. That was a single pull, and they weren't even, there was like maybe one enchanted guy in there. So you can see it's super quick to fill these up. And just look at all the item drops. Holy crap. I mean, yeah, it's just little runes, and, well, we got some skill tomes. You know, it's not all that bad. I've only done 3 pulls. I've filled 42 journals, but the cool thing, too, is that I've earned 1,559 faction points in 3 pulls. Well, that didn't take too long. Now, I did a few little selected pulls. The total time it took was under 10 minutes to fill all of these back up. And then we also got a bunch of loot. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport home whenever it... oh, I don't have enough silver, so... oh, we picked up 32,000 silver off the ground from just that grind. And remember, I had auto-respec turned off, but I still got some combat fame credits out of it anyway, so I don't know how much. I'll have to look at the footage. I checked the footage. It was around 250,000 combat fame credits, which is about 500,000 fame. Imagine if I had this on giving me another 95%. Imagine if I had auto-respec turned on giving me basically 140%. And then if I ate one of those fame cookie things that are going on right now for another 15. But also, I do want to mention that it is part of the Invade Enemy Strongholds daily event, which gives another 15%. So... Oh, by the way, the loot that we got just from that 10 minutes of killing mobs was 247,000, combined with the silver that we got, which was another 37,000. So that would be like what, 290,000, 300k ish times 6, because we only spent 10 minutes. So there's 9. That'd be 1.8 million per hour basically if we did that activity all day. Oh, and if you want to know, the repairs were only 5k, so it's really cheap because I didn't die, obviously. Oh, and I also didn't factor in the earnings from faction points, which in that 10 minutes we got 4,452 faction points. It's just, it can't be beaten. This is only going to get much easier whenever the 8.4 items come out in the Mists update. I can't help but laugh at Redditors and just haters of my channel that are like, oh, you can make more in the red zone, you can make more in the black zone. Can you? Can you? Because I don't think you can. Yeah, maybe if you're in a guild and you're in a tier 8 hideout and, you know, your guild controls the whole zone and then, you know, you have very little risk, but there's still always that random ganker that'll come into your zone and eventually kill you and take away your stuff. Dude, you can't beat this far, man. You can't beat this method of getting silver at all. Redditors don't ever make it this far in my video, so it's safe to say that they're wrong, I'm right. I'm playing leisurely. I can watch anime while doing this. They can't. They have to listen to comms in their Discord and get yelled at by their guildmaster for not making the CTA. And I'm just over here just binge watching every anime in existence, just free farming, having a grand old time. Alright, 9 minutes until these guys are ready. That means another hour or so for the rest of my laborers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cook some food in real life. I'm going to go AFK. Alright, I am back, and here's what we're doing. We're turning in 24 of these Gamekeeper journals. 24 of these are only worth 94,000. They take about 30 minutes to fill up in a tier 4 zone. Let's go ahead and collect these from the laborers, which I am also leveling up, by the way. So they give 90 thin hide. And the book back. The book is worth 1,000. The thin hide is worth 5,400. So 6,400 there. If I split this into one, it's only worth 3,930. So we're going to go ahead and just give all the laborers their books. And I'll be right back. Okay, that only took about a minute or so. And we're going to put these away, leaving us at a value of 131,624 silver in thin hide. Much better than selling the books, for sure. And once we level those guys up to tier 5, we can sell them for even more profit. Now, I will need to dedicate 30 minutes to skinning to refill these journals. However, I'm waiting on the laborers to finish so that I can get generalist trophy journals to also fill while I do this. Alright, we have timed this just right. The laborers return in just a few seconds, which means the ones down here should already be back. So we can go ahead and feed them more tomes. And there we go. They can advance to tier 3. Yeehaw! They are now tier 3, so we give them tier 3 journals, not tier 2 ones. That way they level faster. You can give them tier 2 journals. It'll give them much less experience, so there's really no point. Alright, and then go ahead and advance. They all should have advanced, but I have some tier 2 journals just in case they didn't. So there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do this now across several islands. And laborers are done. We are absolutely done. Here is what we got. We've got back 107 of the tier 2s and 21 tier 3s. That's 128 laborers for my second shift. You can see here we get a bunch of these little trophies. It says it has a value. I'm going to show you right now that that's not true. This has a value of 1,293. It's actually like 5. So someone manipulated the market on these to scam people. Again, this thing has a market out value of like 3, not 300, so these are trash. Anyway, yeah, there we go. We're done with laborers. Now we can do whatever we want the rest of the day. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and knock out filling up these tomes for the day. Now, it is a terrible time to skin. It is prime time right now. So, I'm definitely not going to fill these in 30 minutes. There's going to be a lot of people out skinning also, especially since I've put out some videos recently on skinning. And everyone's out there kind of following my lead. And that's fine, because it's really, really good. So, here I go, skinning again. I want to do this very casually. I'm probably going to listen to music, maybe watch some anime. I don't know, guys. Give me anime suggestions in the comments. And no troll ones. Don't tell me you stupid crap. I like gore and violence and killing, and I hate fan service. I don't like it when the cameras zoom into the anime girl's chest or butt or anything like that. I want to see like goblins being cleaved in half and guts flying everywhere, okay guys? None of this weird stuff. So right now I'm going to go ahead and snapshot here. We got 7,787 faction points. We'll see what I end at after I fill up the journals. Got our first baby drop of the day. We got, that's 55k. Also got a tome, that's 112k. Looking good so far. No, not even one full stack of any animal hides yet. But we'll get there. We just started. I mean, it's pretty damn good for money. Hell yeah. Oh, there's a 4.2 dungeon here, man. I'm in Skinner gear, though, but I think I can still do it, so I'm jumping in. Well, a tome chest. Not really that good. Yay, another tome chest. Oh boy, this is becoming super not worth it. Oh, 2-floor dungeon, only tome chests. Here's the boss. Hopefully he drops something good. I've got 3 sources of healing. We're pretty powerful with what we are, so we're just gonna kill him with damage over times. Just stack all the burning, weaving my auto attack and Q to keep both of those dots active. And this is pretty easy to dodge. Just making sure I'm keeping those 5 stacks of Qs on them. Not a big deal. Pretty easy to do. Hit him with a pyro. That's gonna be a much faster cast in the coming patch. Let's pop my heals just in case. I did let my Q stacks drop off, that's okay. Interrupt that, and you can see it's a pretty easy fight. Hit him with the bear trap once again, and down he goes. Super easy fight. Let's see, is the treasure worth all of this hassle? It was not at all, even though it was a 4.2 dungeon, so yep, I'm not doing that again. Alright, second baby, Yeehaw. It's interesting when the stags drop an item, but it's an adept similar site. See, what is the stag doing reading a book? But then again, they do have these books, which I got 2 of now, by the way. We're banking. There we go. We are done. We have the, where'd it go? There it is. 24 Gamekeeper journals filled. We filled all the green generalist ones we were carrying. We also got 19 more of the tier 2 generalists filled. We ended up with 2 babies, 2 skinning tomes, and 1 tome of insight with a bunch of leather, some silver bags from that dungeon that I did, and some random loot I found on the ground and in the dungeons, fame tomes. Let's return home and see how much we made. Oh, and faction points we're at 12,989 now, so we earned like what, about 5,000 or so? Since we got about 5,000-ish from the tier 4 stuff we did earlier, the statics, and from the skinning, that's 10k. We're gonna buy ourselves a chest and add that to our earnings here. There we go, very nice. Let me go ahead and eat the silver bags, just om nom nom. And onwards we go. After storing everything and looking at our estimated market value, we have 918,386 silver worth of stuff we looted in that time frame. Alright, I looked at my previous footage and it was 33 minutes of skinning And that dungeon that we did took 12 minutes, which is really stupid. I shouldn't do dungeons in skinning gear. That's why it was a huge waste of time. So that was like 45 minutes. We made almost 1 million in 45 minutes, basically. Oh, and don't forget, those tomes that we filled, the 24 Skinner tomes, that's another 130k on top of what we earned, which means we earned technically over 1 million. Now, I could spend the rest of the day doing whatever I want. I don't even need to play Albion anymore, as everything is basically done. I'm going to do some quarrier mining, which is the stone cutting. Reason why is because I have enough learning points to push it to tier 7. I'm currently tier 6. And it's a good time to do it because I got 5 more days on these All Hallows treats, which is basically a Fame Week thing. So, it's the best time to level it is now. I might as well go ahead and push it to 20%, use my learning points, and then push maybe cropping and prospecting also to tier 6, because they're only tier 5. So I've got my journals, I've got my general journals, I've got the All Hallows treats, I've got food, the gather food. So we're just going to eat. You can combine both the food and the All Hallows treat, and then there we go. It's time to get to leveling. You can see that I am at 9% here in the top right corner. 11 more percent to go. That's about 2 to 3 hours of stone mining here. If I can stand it, probably not. Probably won't do too much more today. But I'm just going to listen to some music and watch a bunch of YouTube videos and kind of chill out. Maybe hydrate, drink a bunch of water, and see what I feel like in a few hours. Did 1 full hour of stone mining. That's how long it took to fill up these journals, just barely in time, and managed to get 1 quarrier tome. Yikes. So in that 1 hour with premium, remember, and in tier 6 gear, we only made 459,000. This is why stone mining is just, it's not as good unless you're in the higher tier zones, because the stone is super cheap. Like a tier 4 stone, look at it, it's worth 9. Yep, 9. It's worth 9. It's cheaper than tier 1 wood. But I did manage to increase it to 13.3%. So we're almost to 20%. Well, I need 1.5 more hours to max this out and get to tier 7. So I'm going to try, see how much I get in a yellow zone instead of a blue zone. See if it's better, see if it's worse, how much more or less money I get. I have 24 more journals to fill. And of course I brought the treats, so we're all set. Well, not quite 1 hour, but one interesting observation I made in the tier 5 zone is that it does fill journals much faster. However, I don't level as fast because the tier 2 nodes give experience so fast and I can mine them so fast, they don't contribute to the journals, but they contribute to your total experience. So I'm up to 17% now, almost to 20%. I'm going to sort all this stuff that we mined. I got 24 or more of these filled, and I'll be right back. Oh, the money is so much worse. It's only 174k. Of course, we didn't get any tomes. So yeah, that's one thing. Yikes, dude. Look how bad granite is right now. 1 granite is only 106. 1 rough stone is 151. It's 50% more expensive for tier 1 than tier 5. It's so silly, isn't it? That's crazy. Also, we have once again gotten up to 12,000 points, so I'm going to buy a chest for 9,000. We're going to open it, see what we got there. There's, let's see, what is this? 20,000, and then another 42,000 in items, so that's 62,000. We got 3 of these yellow tomes worth 100,000 each. That's 300,000 combat fame credits just for gathering. We put that towards our armor and weapons, so that's really good. Took a 45-minute break. I laid down for a little bit. I contemplated some stuff, tried to think of some video ideas. Took a bunch of supplements and eat a weird combination of food, alright? So, one supplement, vitamin D, it's the cinnamon flavor. Another supplement is cherry flavored, the zinc and vitamin C. Then I had some fish oil, expired sadly, but it's probably still good. I don't know. Didn't smell bad. But it's a month out, and I don't want to pay for another bottle. So, I took all of those, and then I was like, I wonder what pickled okra tastes like with fish oil. So that's interesting. So what happened was, after the fish oil goes in, my mouth is all oily, so I eat the pickled okra. And now the pickledness of the okra is, like, fused with the oil, and it won't wash away. I've chugged water. I took some inositol with water. The taste is not going away. It's just stuck in there. So I'm gonna make some more food. Just like, you know, cup or 2 of rice. Eat that. I don't know. It's a very interesting combination, that's for sure. No creatine today. I'm not going to the gym. It's kind of flooding in my area, and I haven't been doing strength training lately. I think I need to focus more on cardio. My resting heart rate is at 120, which is not good. Most people it's between 60 and 100. Mine was 80 a year ago, and now it's 120. That was after I got sick, and I've been recovering, you know, since for a whole freaking year. Anyway, I thought it over, and I was like, why am I maxing out Quarrier? It's the worst gathering skill. It makes the least amount of money. Why the hell am I gonna dump a bunch of learning points, 351 learning points into this thing when I should just, I don't know, maybe put it into ore miner or fiber harvester instead, even though these I haven't begun leveling at all. And that's because, well, I've got to get the tier 6. I got to unlock tier 6 first. Oh man, such a long way to go on those. Whereas like Courier, I mean, come on, is it really worth making? Like, I don't see the point. I don't know, guys. I'm indecisive now. Logged in real quick to see how my chef's doing, and he's got enough focus now for another big batch of food. I'm not gonna bother with it today. I'm just kind of lazy. He did make 700,000 though in the time that you know, since I logged in, so that's cool. Well, it is super floody and stormy in my area, so I can't go do anything crazy like PvP or risky content. Not that I normally do anyway, but there's just really not much I can do. I might get disconnected because my power might go out due to all the storms. So I'm just going to push this to 20%. I'm just going to push stone mining to 20%, and then someday I'll have enough learning points to get to tier 7. Alright, that is another stone quarry run done. We got the journals filled. We're at 20%. I'm just going to go ahead and learn it. 350 learning points. Let's go. It's done. It is absolutely done. Awesome stuff. Alright. This run was a little bit better at 480k. We got 2 of the Quarrier tomes, so that's like 3/4 of the price right there, because the stone isn't worth a damn, and then of course the Tome of Insight. So now it is time to rip off this orange clothing and replace it with some yellow clothing. So now all that I have left to do now that we're tier 7 is at least push this to tier 8. It's only 116,000 more fame, and then of course you cut 20% of that, or 80% of that off, whatever. I've got 5 more days on the All Hallows treat, so I'm going to push this to 20%. However, it's going to take 2 real-life weeks to get the learning points at 30 learning points per day to be able to put it to tier 8. I'm also going to push my other gathering skills up to tier 6, all before these little things run out in 5 days. So that's all I can stomach today. I jumped on my alt characters and watered the crops, so that's already done. So yeah, it's a very productive day in Albion. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Hopefully you learned something. I don't know. But videos every single day. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any. And I read every single comment. With that said, if you want to play with me and do like group dungeons and stuff, because you can see here my gameplay footage is quite lonely. Right, I've got tank, DPS, healing setups, all 8.3. We can smash through group dungeons together. Join that Discord. Link is in the description. If for whatever reason you can't join, it's because Discord thinks you're under 18, or you've joined the Discord before and left, in which case a bot will ban you for that. So, with that said, also, that's all I got. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Click the video on screen right now. Mwah.